Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to our free webinars CFA Level 1. This time we'll be dealing with derivatives, first of all. And second, it's going to be the binomial tree. The binomial tree when it comes to valuation, of calls or puts. So to specify this, we'll be dealing with calls only, the call option, which means the right to, if you exercise the call option, the right to buy something at a given price agreed upon today that is valid in the future, and it's possible to realize a gain just because the price of the underlying, which means, for example, a share is going to be higher than the strike price. That's a concise description of this call option now. So, talking about the binomial tree, we need to look at my mind map, binomial valuation. Now, this is the mind map when it comes to binomial valuation of options. What do you need to know in your CFA Level 1 exam? That's the entire thing. The idea of hedging, first of all, you need to understand the idea of hedging. Second, it's about sketching the binomial tree, or at least in your mind, in your brain, you have to do that. You have to do a real sketch, or a small sketch of it. Third, compute the pseudo probabilities, pi and 1 minus pi. Fourth, compute the value of the option today. There's a little formula. And compute the number of shares of the underlying that you are going to hold, because if you need to calculate the arbitrage gain, that's important to have computed the small letter h, the small letter h, not only when it comes to the arbitrage gain, but also if you're asked to compute the value of the call option today. So that is that, and of course the arbitrage gain itself. But let us see. I have something for you now. This little task, question 409 out of my mock exam questions, out of my very many questions that we have now on lamberteducation.com or on www.daniel-lambert.de. The value of a share today might be 50 euros, for example, and it could go up or it could go down, denoted by the up factor or denoted by the down factor. The value of a call option as of today will be closest to answer A, answer B, or answer C, whatever the answers might be. Cool. Cool. So now, if we go back to the Lambert mind map, of derivatives, it's first of all the idea of hedging. What is the idea? What is the idea of hedging? So first of all, the idea of hedging is this. We have B sub 0, that is, you hold a certain number of the underlying H times S0, so the value of the share today, if it's going to be a share, the underlying, if the underlying is a share, it is denoted by S0 minus C0, so minus because you want to hold exactly one call option. So that is the amount of money invested today. The amount of money invested today is this. So that's the idea. First, you sell one call and you hold H units of the underlying. Now, the tree sketching the tree. The binomial tree consists of two different values, consists of two different outcomes. First of all, S0, the value of the underlying share, for example, this is why we call it S. And then, of course, C0, because we want to compute the value of the underlying, of the value of the call option. It could go up or it could go down. If it goes up, it's going to go up to S1 plus, because in period 1, here we have period 0, whereas here we have period 1. So S1 plus is the value if it went up. So S0 times U times the app factor, or if it goes down, S1 minus, because S0 multiplied by the down factor. If times are bad, it could just as well go down. Why not? Of course. So let us say it's 50 euros. 50 euros so far. 50 euros. Why not? If it goes up by, what did I say? What percentage? 70%, go down by 40%. It means 70% would mean that it goes up to 85 euros. 85 euros. Or it could just as well go down to, what did I have in mind? 30. If it went down by 40%, it means that from 50, 40% down to 30 euros. Cool. Now, what's the value? What's the value in all those two cases, the value of the call option? Because like a call option means you have the right, not the obligation, to buy a certain underlying at a price agreed upon today. That means C1 plus equals 85 minus the strike price. I didn't say yet what the strike price will be, and the strike price is going to be 60. So we agree upon today we agree that you'll be able, you, the holder of this call option, will be able to buy the underlying share for 60, at the price of 60. That's agreed upon now. So 85 minus 60 equals 25. Equals 25 euros if the underlying share is going to go up, because what happens, you'll be able to exercise this option, which means you'll have the right, not the obligation, the right to buy this share at a price of 60, which means right afterwards you'll sell the same share for 85 euros at a gain of 25. Same holds true if it goes down, if the situation is going to be bad, so you won't exercise the option. Because why? Because like exercising it means you have to buy it for 60. You have the right to buy it for 60, but you could only sell it for 30, which is bad. So it's better, it would be better not to exercise the option at all, which means 0 is the price in this situation. That is that. That's important. And of course, if I can show it this way, those two numbers. So that those two numbers, those four numbers are important. and we'll keep them in mind. That's the second thing. So idea of hedging, you need to understand the idea of hedging. And second, to sketch the binomial tree and the numbers related to them, related to this binomial tree. Now, compute the Sawyer probabilities. Step 3. This is step 3 of this Lambert algorithm. Pi and 1 minus pi. Pi equals 1 plus r in the numerator, 1 plus r minus d, divided by the denominator consists of u minus d, the up factor minus the down factor. That's a certain formula, which is, and I have to say, the risk-free rate shall be 8%. So 0.08 shall be the numbers here. 1 plus 0.08 minus the down factor, which is, and that's quite tedious, that's quite difficult, because I said it's going to decrease by 40%, which gives us a down factor of 0.6. The up factor is 1.7, but the down factor is 0.6. That's a bit difficult. That we mean this. This gives us the number of 0.436363 and so on and so on. So there's a never finishing series of 636363 and so on and so on. So it's infinite. This number 63 is going to be infinite. That is pi, whereas 1 minus pi, of course, is just the opposite. Both of them add to 1. And fourth, of course, the call option, the value of the call option, just computed with the help of this binomial tree. And the formula goes this way: pi multiplied by C1 plus 1 minus pi multiplied by C1 minus divided by the denominator 1 plus r. Again, another formula. Oh my God, all those formulas you need to keep in mind. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Which is pi was 0.436363 and so on, multiplied by, what was it? C1 plus equals 25, doesn't it? Yes. And then there's 1 minus pi. I don't know, because 1 minus pi is not really quite important to us, because it is multiplied by 0. Any given number multiplied by 0, of course, equals 0. 1 plus 0.08, wasn't it? 8%, yes. And that is C0, 10 euros and 10 cents, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, which means it is about 10 euros and 11 cents. So 10 euros, approximately 10 euros if we round it to 2 digits behind the comma. 2 euros and 11 cents is the correct number, is the correct answer, which means if we go back to the question, answer A was correct. Answer A was correct, and that is that. That is the answer. Now, question 410. Consider the call option. Actually, there is the next question, question 411, which is a bit easier now because we could just go on to the next one. Consider the call option of question 409. Looking at the hedging process, how many shares do we hold? So that was the number of shares of step 1. The number of shares of step 1, the idea of hedging. Here, the amount of money invested, we want to sell 1 call and we want to hold H units of the underlying. So let's see. Let's see what we get. And the right formula is this. The formula is this. So H, we denote it by H, is a fraction. And the numerator consists of C1 plus minus C1 minus divided by the denominator S1 plus minus S1 minus. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry again. Sorry, I have to really treat you this way, but it's not my fault. You wanted it this way. You wanted it. So C1 plus, if I got it right, was 25 minus 0. 25 minus 0 divided by, wasn't it, 85 minus 30, right? Yes. 85 minus 30, which is 0.45, 45, 45, and so on. So 0.45 is the right answer to the number of shares we're going to hold. The number of shares we're going to hold is this, so answer B would be the correct answer. Cool. Isn't it? That's a cool answer. So the process of hedging consists of 2 different things. We are going to sell 1 call and hold 0.45 portions, or like less than half of a share. Now you could tell me, oh my God, Daniel, what is this? How can you possibly hold just a fraction of a share? But that's part of the idea. That is part of the idea that we're not going to hold exactly 1 share or no share at all, but a portion of a share is held here. That was the 3rd question. And what was I going to say? Yes, the 3rd question here, or 2nd, consider the call option, and any call option, which of the following is not a factor, in the pricing of an option in the binomial tree: the strike price, the risk-free rate, or the probability that the price of the underlying share will go down. And the answer is C. The answer is C, because the strike price is a factor as well as the risk-free rate. The strike price was a factor because we computed the numbers 85 and 0. 85 and 0, going back to this, yes, 85 and 30, I'm sorry. 85 and 30 were the prices going up or down, and 25 and 0 had the strike price in it, at least implicitly, because, like, for example, the 25 was minus 85 minus 60, and the number 0 also went back to the strike price, because if we have a price of 30 and the strike price is 60, there's no use in exercising this option, so this value was 0. Implicitly looking at the strike price of 60, so the strike price is a factor, maybe even a very important factor, but is a factor. So this was not the right answer, because we were looking for a false answer, not a factor. The strike price is indeed a factor, and the risk-free rate is a factor just as well, because What did we see? Yes, C0. C0. Looking here. There's the R. There's the risk-free rate R. So here, that in fact is a factor when it comes to computing the C1, so the C0, so the price of the call option. So that's a wrong answer, and we were asking for, I mean, no, it's right answer, but we were looking for wrong answer, so the right answer is wrong answer, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, the probability that the price of the underlying share will go down, that was not a part. So yes, and that was this webinar. This was a quite short webinar. We were dealing with the binomial tree. The binomial tree was a measure of how to compute the value of a call option. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're interested in our webinars, there were other webinars, not free webinars, but paid webinars in German and in English, and they will happen in 10 days from now. They will happen in November. Go to lamberteducation.com to see more on this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Daniel Lambert, Berlin.